Yeah, so I started recording, and hi guys. You are here because you are obviously you're not recording.
No, it's
Yeah, okay, it's working. Yeah, I guess you are the experts of this year's challenge, and I wanted to go through the routing, through the tracking with you, to see how the race was won or the race was lost, and hear what you have to say, how you decided, what your decision process was, and Jure, of course, with the weather subtitles, what was going on where and how it came to that. So I think we should start, and I'll share my screen with the tracking replay. And here we are at the start. So the first were the 18s. So maybe I'll start with Dejan, ask him what was going on at the start. Just let me slow this down a little bit. This is already too fast.
Put it to speed 1.
Yeah.
And then you can
look at it normally.
Now it's -1, so yeah.
Sure. Or maybe Jure, what were the conditions at the start for those who weren't there?
So basically, if I recall well, it was just the sea breeze starting, and so like in these conditions, we put all the Janakers up after a while, and so in this phase. It was really the sea breeze starting. So at this stage of the race of development, the sea breeze was somehow perpendicular to the shore. So it was really some kind of a beam reaching.
Yeah. Here's already a split in the fleet. So how to pass this island? Since there are so many boats, it's hard to see who is where. So I see Blue Sardina here. So this is Dejan. And Jure, where were you? Which side did you choose?
Last one. So basically, we were controlling the fleet from the back.
Decided to see what the tech. Here you are. So yeah, did it play any role here? This is going just too fast.
Well, actually not so much. So it was so that the island here was more or less it didn't bring any impact.
Yeah, even though it was a wind from the shore, the sea breeze. Sorry.
Yeah.
We are also past the start for the 24th and the 27th. So quite similar conditions here. Very little wind from the start, but then it picked up a little bit. What
so
were your...
at this point, the wind was coming from the left to right. If you are looking at the screen, yeah.
Yeah.
So that everybody knows what was going on.
Yeah. Milan, you are already in the lead here, and as far as I can remember, you pretty much stayed there. How come?
Oh, well, in fact, we choose to. At the beginning, we were hesitating if we manage to sail with the Janaker or if we need to put the code 0. But it was quite obvious after we see the 18s that it's impossible to sail with the big kite. So with the code 0, we just managed to have a good start at the right moment to unfurl the code 0 and to get the speed immediately after the start. So, and we just try to keep the straight line to first waypoint. So
It looks quite a straight line until here.
Yes.
Yeah. So the 18s got the first into this mess. So then, what was going on here? Because it's quite
well. Basically, the wind area was behind us. We got stuck into a no wind zone, and you know, everybody had like different conditions because we were spread. I think no wind was just a bit more south, and there was small puffs left and right, and basically we were doing 1 knot to 2 knots to the next waypoint until the southwest wind came half an hour later or something like that.
no.
Yeah. So basically,
maybe
yes,
I can add from our perspective, from Gil. You can see us on the left, where your cursor is currently. We were at that moment quite happy that we were not somewhere in the lead with the 18s, and we could see that they got stuck there, and then decided to go a little bit to windward. And at that moment, with all the other 24s, it was quite some decision point, as you can see on the tracker lines already. If we would go down again into the channel, so what we actually did, because the wind picked up again, or if we go like we can see Andras here with Republica Palma de Coco, if we would go on the south side of the wind, on the windward side of the island, but the wind in the channel where all the boats are now, we can see gathered, was so well redeveloping that it was the right decision to stay inside and go with that.
So basically, I would just stress out that actually that was the first transition the fleet had met during the race. So it was the transition from the sea breeze to the southwest, so there were a few more, but I would just mark this time as this period as the first transition.
Yeah. What I was really wondering was that the wind, even in the lee of this island, was still very strong. You don't need it much separation from the coastline of this island to have already strong wind. No big wind shadow there.
Yeah.
Then we are past the first waypoint, and here things start to get interesting.
I have a bit of a problem because I'm stuck. I don't see your screen. Okay, now it is.
Updating. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, straight line until the channel between Jure and Capri, and then yeah, it gets fuzzy again. So the 18s, as I see it, all decided to go for the right side of the channel, and most of the 27s, yeah, took the left side. So what was the logic behind here?
So basically, you know, the wind got channeled through the channel for a while, and normally something what I see here is that Czech mermaid played the right hand as well, which is logical. So basically, just like licking the shore brought them some advantage of a better angle and like actually using the shore as much as possible, and I believe that was the smart move. And Luca and myself, we also got good position just playing these tactics as well.
Yeah. So you came up the fleet, and this is where the Czech mermaid really peeled off for the first time, and we are then pretty much again straight to the second waypoint. Nordry following quite nicely, and I just wanted to point out there are two boats. Yeah, let me just rewind a little bit. So if you take a look at Lois and Adriascape Lola Viola, they did some funny business around here. I was talking to them during the race and asking them what's going on, and they said, yeah, we didn't drink anything, it's just a really foul current. And Adriascape in the end decided to just say, let me go around it, and kind of made it through. Lois had some problems. How come that no one else had these issues with the current?
Maybe the wind dropped so much that that was the factor, because I think the 18s that were on the right side, they were moving 3 knots upwind with minimum. It was 4 or 5 knots until this big right shift that we had on the island, but we never got no wind, you know.
Yeah. So without wind, current will really mess you up.
Yeah. And maybe something on the speed comparison between the 24 and 27th. So this time and well, 2 or 3 hours before the wind, which we had there, we were, as we can see, we were really able with the 24 to keep the speed of the 27th. So with yeah, a tight 2-sail reach, or beating in a wind like this, so maybe just below the wind, a 24/7 needs to reach waterline speed. That was the conditions where we could follow the 27s quite well by playing a lot with the sheets. This was the key thing was playing the sheets all the time here.
It's quite a good.
This is kind of a sweet spot there for the 24, I think.
Yeah.
You have something between 5 and 10 knots, and then you can do a lot.
Yeah. It's a light wind boat, yeah. I see here Jure battled through to the 2nd place, and Dejan is here on the 4th, 5th. So also keeping up with the front end. So Czech Mermaid again first to the Kornati archipelago, and again.
Here I would spot on one thing as well. As you can see, you know, all trajectories are somehow curved toward the north. So which means, so here we were sailing the almost straight to the wind, and so so we got the sea breeze again, and as you can see the sea breeze was veering, so that's why we were. Basically, we couldn't, like the first 27s were able to almost sail in a line toward the Opat. However, you know, we were headed, so we had to beat toward the Opat. So but it's quite normal, you know, that the sea breeze is veering toward the afternoon.
So it's going behind the sun, if I understand.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Czech Mermaid here staying really close to Opat and going straight. And now it's really hard to keep up, to keep you all in one screen. Yeah, the 18s are already beating up wind and entering Kornati.
So perhaps one thing here is, you know, how to play the capes, and like I would really suggest, you know, to everyone, you know, that he should really like see in this region here where we're beating around the capes, and also before. So what is the effect of a land? And because like if the wind is channeled through the channel, playing the land well can really play a very important role in the races like that.
So what you mean is stay close to the cape and keep hugging the coast?
Yeah, well, sometimes this is the way to go, and I would say, you know, like Cape Opat was the one, you know, like or even so on the other island was the first one, and then once you had to decide and cross to the Opat, and because the flow is normally curved around the cape, so and this is something what you would normally want to do. But it's not always the case, and like, you know, sometimes, you know, really going close to the shore, it plays well, and sometimes it doesn't, and perhaps it's really good, you know, to recall those effects by going through the tracker, looking at you with the comparison with the boats around, so, and to see what is really working.
Yeah. There are some general rules of using the capes when you're beating. So one thing is caused by the bend of the wind, which Jure just mentioned, that the wind bends around the cape, and by doing the right tacks at the right position, then you can use the different wind directions before, so in front and behind the cape, to get an advantage of this. And the second would be that you might have a little bit compression there, so that the wind strength would increase a little bit at something like a cape, like you have it in a channel, for example.
So this is slowly getting dark. This is the evening, and Czech Mermaid is really. Oh, this is not that one.
Yeah, great job there, guys.
Just wanted to show, yeah, because I was I met. This is the track of Zorna, and I was following them a little bit closer because we were close with the chase boat. They were really going to the last meter of the shore, to really shallow waters, so hugging the coastline. That was really amazing to see how close they came and how well they know this area. So hats off to them. And just let me zoom out a little bit, since the fleet is quite large now. And Milan, do you know this area? Have you?
No, in fact, I haven't sailed in Croatia for maybe 20 years, so it's a long time ago. We sailed some races in there, but I try to use the basic rules, in fact, and try to optimize the geometry of our trajectory, simply.
Yeah. And
so,
in the end, you decided to go out a little bit.
Yes, because we seen there was a bit of wind outside, and at the time we were just more in front. We check on the tracker that the boats outside has a good speed, like the Jill and Escapade. So it was for us, it was a note to encourage us to go more outside, and we could still see some breeze on the sea outside. So that's why we didn't hesitate to go outside more, and also on the way back to go outside offshore.
Yeah.
So
because we didn't know at this time. We were not sure if we go back through the channel with against a lot of boats, etc., or if we go outside. We had no idea, so we decided really 2 miles before we passed the second or the third waypoint.
Yeah, fortunately, we were in a position where we could have a very good look outside, as you can see in the tracker, just where we have been. There are these big spaces behind the islands, and we could see that there was good breeze still on the outside, and it was already quite late. I don't know what time it was then, but we were already thinking, well, it doesn't look like there's the sea breeze which is dropping now, but it looks like there's a breeze out on the open water, which would probably remain for at least the first half of the night. And so we trusted in this more than in the wind which was in the channel. And as it became very narrow, the channel where now we can see Fram and corner. And looking on the tracker and the boat speeds as well, we could see that within this area there was, I think, much of wind shadow effects as well. So the boat was slowed a lot, and this was the reason then why we started to follow the path outside, which was really the best decision we did in the race, which really worked out well. Because then we picked up all the 24s, despite Jack Mermaid, of course, and rounded the mark in overall second here, just by this sailing outside of the channel here in the last miles.
So
you were sailing the 24 like you were 27, so you're here second in general, chasing the 27 that it's in lead is Jack Mermaid.
Yeah. So I would just say, you know, that this is already the night, and so basically we are now in the second transition, yes, you're right. The northwesterly breeze was staying outside, and it's actually difficult to say, you know, because the northwesterly sea breeze is it the gradient wind or is it the remaining of a sea breeze? But yes, you know, like we were also staying in the channel because we were somehow counting on the land breeze, very local land breeze coming down from the Cornet Island. However, you know, the going out, and this is something what we finally did. We went out for this remaining of the northwesterly breeze, and this is something where the boats going inside the channel stuck. So basically, they were really suffering this transition when there was no wind in the channel.
Here was a big switch in the leadership of the 18 fleet. So Forza, Leyline, and Lencina, who decided to go the outside, like Jure said, gained quite a bit. And this is midnight now, a little bit past midnight as far as 14 hours into the race. After the waypoint of Tallurić, Forza and Leyline decided otherwise to go back in. So they won their advantage by going outside, but on the way down they decided to go back in again. Lencina, what you did, Jure? You stayed in the middle.
So basically, we were tricking Forza. Because they were looking back over their shoulder, and they thought that if we were going in the channel as well, that was the way to go. However, you know, like we had no intention to go in the channel because it was obvious that there is a bit of still this northwesterly breeze. So you know, like that was kind of a tipping point. Like I was advocating, you know, that there might be some land breeze during the second part of the night below the Cornet, and this is something what they were counting on. Actually, the puff of breeze came, and that made them thinking that the land breeze was going to develop below the Cornet. However, we stick to this northwesterly.
So yeah. It's then slowly night going into the morning. So there is a huge gap now between Jack Mermaid and the rest of pretty much everyone. Gil is still fighting with the rest of the 27s, and you went quite out in the open, where the rest of the 18s had later in the morning a straight line to the Blitvenica. But here is also a split in the routes. So the 27th and the 24th continue down to Komorica, while the 18th switch back north to Michigan.
Yeah, maybe one very important thing here. I think you've got the tracker now of Escapade.
Yeah.
Which was they finished second, and maybe you go back to the tracker, and this is we made a mistake on Jill here, because in the beginning you can see if you go on the tracker of Escapade, they went outside. They went south.
Oh, yeah, so
in the night, which gave them some good advantage over the other 27s. No, the other boat, the one on the top, the third one. Yeah, you can see they were far on the outside, the most southern boat of all of us. We were very far on the inside, which was at that moment not the best decision because there was still the breeze outside, the kind of a little bit left over of the gradient, I think. And then more important, if you go down to the mark, you can see that they are now making a little move to the inside because there, and we thought the same, but we didn't execute it. That was really a big mistake. Well, they went where the sea breeze started to develop first. And this is why in the end they came out second.
This is the point.
So here I would just try to comment on the sea breeze development. Actually, now we are in the last transition. So the transition between calm or this let's say gradient northwesterly outside. But what was really fun, you know, like here, just perhaps at this moment, or even a bit earlier, you know, the boats closer to the islands still got a bit of the land breeze, which was a few puffs of a land breeze. So that was just the time when the sun came out, and basically the sun can then help, you know, and this is something what we were playing all the time, you know, it's trying to stay close to the islands. Where you might still get a bit of, during the morning hours, a bit of land breeze, because this land breeze is somehow going to the surface of the sea by mixing the air by sunshine. So there is a little effect, but however, this one didn't play too big role. And then the next one was that the sea breeze started to develop a bit more from the closer to the islands than outside, and this is something that we were counting on. However, you know, Dejan was simply too fast outside, and we were catching Dejan a bit, but not that much as we wanted.
Yeah.
So this is the point that Dejan took the lead and held on.
Exactly, we took the lead because we were closest to land, and then once we passed Blivenica, we allowed Escapade, as you can see them now, to go on the inside lane, and this is where they overtook all of us. So we just didn't stick to our own plan there. And here you can see them now rounding in second overall.
And yeah, I just wanted to ask Dan, this is pretty much it for the 18 fleet. It was really close, but
no, not really. We gave them one more chance, but they didn't took it on the last waypoint.
Come on.
Because we went past.
Because the how you're lined up right now, it's the same as you. Yeah, here you went.
We went with the Jenaker until it was we couldn't sail anymore on the line. Then we went with the Jeep, but we just missed the mark. I don't know. It was maybe we were too tired. We didn't look the navigation good. You know, it was middle of the day. Sun was already for more than 20 hours, 24 hours on us, and then we just sailed a bit further from the mark than needed.
Yeah. Just to comment on what the other boats are doing here. So Lois abandoned the race and was returning to back to Jezera, and also Amoka is already there. And since we were looking at the 18s and the last mark, the Czech Mermaid already finished. So this was such a fast sailing here from the last waypoint on the Komorica up there, that even us, the organizers, were a little bit surprised. The buoy and the finish line was still being set up. So you were doing quite a really remarkable speed here, Milan, compared to the wind that was there. Did you sail the 27 before?
No, it was first time I sailed on the boat, in fact. But it's easy. It's very easy sail boat. So it's a lot of. I took a lot of pleasure, in fact, to sail on it. But we did some training 2 days before the start, and just to set up the sails, Milan bought, and that's it. I think even Milan didn't sail on the boat a lot because he bought it in the winter. So it was a bit.
Yeah, this is a 27 with a lot of history, which we are going to address maybe some other time. So we are having Escapade and Ora Blue in the 27s, following them up, and Nordri and Gil also really packed well. And you meet the 18s on the peninsula of Murter. This was the last. Normally, this is where the race is won or lost by a fleet tightly packed like this. But this time it didn't really change anything. So Blue Sardina won the 18 class, and Zorna second, Lencina third, and Pikica 2 fourth. So there was no decision for the 18s to go on the, it was on the keeping close to the island, not the small one, not going around the small one. Like in the last time, the previous edition, this line that we are looking at right now won the race for Zorna, but I guess because coming from the different direction.
And the biggest difference is that the sea breeze was really already very well established, and comparing with the last time when we were just entering at the time when the sea breeze has started to develop. So here it was no brainer really, like just to get to the finish as fast as possible. And I have to say it was really quite windy, and it's a very interesting effect that actually the sea breeze is accelerating on the lee side of the island, and it's really getting gusty. So that was the trickiest part, getting gusts up to like more than 20 knots.
So the first four 18s finished in 5 minutes of time difference after more than 24 hours of sailing, which is quite amazing again. And slowly everyone is getting into the port. Yeah, here are the rest of the 27s. Also got really separated into packs, and then the rest of the fleet slowly comes in for a beer and goulash. So if you had one advice which you would give to the rest of the sailors, any of you, what would it be? An outtake from this race? Maybe Falko, you're short on time.
Yeah, no, I skipped the meeting, the other one, to stay here.
Thank you for that.
I think well, we learned the boat as well just a few days before, and it was nice and quite easy and good to learn. The thing is, to keep that up to speed, you gotta play the sheets constantly, especially the main sheet, because I think the heeling angle of the boat needs to be controlled a lot with the 24 and probably with the 27 as well. This was one point regarding the boat speed. We used a lot the code 5. Well, because we couldn't get that high with the. I'm still in.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. We couldn't go that high with the Gennaker, so we had to sail a lot with the furl code 5. And then, yeah, when you have this land breeze situation, stick to the land. Yeah, when in doubt, stick to the land.
Milan, you agree? You also, yeah, we actually have 2 winners that were for the first time on our boats. So it doesn't matter the gear. It's the sailor that wins the race, I guess.
Well, I suppose we had similar boats. For the sails, I don't really know the others. Well, what I could see, but I mean, for maybe advice for the sailors, it's to really keep an eye on the geometry of the way they go, because it plays a lot. After for a meteo, I'm not really expert, but it's probably very hard to predict what will happen. So it's always also about a bit of luck. So and the speed of the boat, to keep the speed, because if the boat goes fast, then you can point higher or you can do more stuff. If you don't have speed, it's really hard to do anything. So I think this is 2 things the sailors should focus in the next time to improve.
Thank you. And Dejan?
Yeah, well, I would say that as we were starting first and we had a few transitions, I would say that people should just stay focused on their boat, not the others. Stay, check the wind and so on. Because if you get disappointed, like if you are first and then you lose 10 places and so on, and if the morale is not good on the boat, you're just losing places. So it's in this long race you have opportunities and you have to stay focused on yourself, not on the other boats. It's also very important.
And Jure, the final word.
So basically, first I would really congratulate to Falko and Milan, because they really did a really great race, and it's shown that this really especially Czech made. They haven't done too many mistakes. They were really right on spot. And Falko as well, that you were able to keep pace with 27th. But here I would really go with Dejan. So this is the if you have so many transitions, you have also so many opportunities, to get back in the race again or to win and so on. As you could see, we were really the last one start over the starting line, and we were really focusing and we were really very active. So I would say, this is the recipe to go in this race. Try to win, try to gain as much as possible. Try to play the shore, the coastline, and well, another advice. The last advice would be follow the tracker, because the tracker is also showing where the boats are moving, and basically it was actually the tracker which somehow directed us to go outside during the last part of Kronati, and that really played a big. So the track, I would say, the tracker can be very useful source of information here as well.
Great. Thanks for joining us, guys. It was really learning experience on the water and here after the race. Thank you for this debrief, and see you next time on the water. And
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Have a nice
See you.
day.
Take
Bye.
care.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye bye.
Bye all.